Site speed is an important ranking factor for SEO, but many websites may not know what they need to fix to improve their site speed in Google's eyes and maybe in Bing's eyes. So in this lecture, we wanted to show you how to run a site speed report in Google Analytics, because that report can show you the information you need to improve your site speed, and sometimes very simple actions can do a whole lot to improve your site speed, and in turn can then improve your SEO, your user experience, and potentially your bounce rates. So this tutorial is normally part of a Google Analytics Reports course, but you can see the full version for the site speed report in this lecture now. If you want to see all the lectures, see that in our full Udemy course. Thanks and enjoy. So the next set of reports we're going to take a look at are the site speed reports. And these have become even more important over the past few years as Google has officially now counted site speed as a ranking factor as of 2010. So you can see this headline from Search Engine Land where that happened several years back. So it's incredibly important, not just for organic search and to rank better organically in Google, but also for usability. You know, we talk about bounce rate and so forth, and in the days of mobile, you want to make sure your site's loading quickly because people just don't have time to wait around. And many studies have shown that if you don't capture someone's attention in 10 seconds, the first 8 to 10 seconds they're on your site, they're going to be gone. Well, what if your site doesn't load fast enough? That's a whole other issue that you could be facing. So this is a really great set of reports. There are 4 reports in the site speed set of reports. They are, of course, the overview, which we see in many of these different reports, page timings, how long does it take each page to load, individual pages. This is a great report for looking at how long it takes for specific pages to load. So let's say which one is taking the longest, and so you can diagnose and deal with those issues. Speed suggestions. Wow, this is awesome. This is one of the best gifts Google gives us, in my opinion, as webmasters, and that is suggestions for how to speed up your site. There's some really, in some cases, quite simple fixes that can make a huge difference. As an example, a lot of people don't optimize their images well, and we see that a lot. They just slap up an image on their website and it's not optimized from a size perspective, which slows down the loading time. So there's some examples in there that Google will give you, and some of them are really straightforward, may not even take you a lot of time to fix. And then user timings is also a site speed report, is how long users are using the site. So let's take a look at all of those particular reports now in Google Analytics. Back in Google Analytics, we can find the site speed reports under behavior reports. So if you look in the left-hand navigation, you'll see behavior under acquisition, site speed is under behavior, and then we have the 4 reports here, and right now I'm on the site speed overview report. Now the overview report, like the other overviews we've looked at throughout the other sections of this course, are really just, it's just a broad overview of things like the page load time overall on average, the average domain lookup time, server connection, all these different pieces that may be of interest to you. The other thing that I think is really interesting is down here, which is the browser and how long each browser is taking on average to load the site. And this can be really important, especially if you have a popular browser. Let's say Chrome is your most popular browser accessing your site, yet it's one of the slower browsers. That means that we may need to take a look at how we're loading our site through Chrome. Internet Explorer, as you see here, wow, that one is not in good shape. And we may need to evaluate that, because when you design your site and you create different pieces for your site, certain things load better and work better in certain browsers that are more compatible. So that could be the issue there, that maybe we're not really making a very Internet Explorer compatible site. But you also have to gauge whether or not you have very many visitors. If we only have 1 visitor from that particular browser and it's a really antiquated browser, then maybe it's not something we want to focus on. But this tool can help you really understand, again, which browsers might need help, or you might need to do some redesigning based on that, or some reevaluation of some things on your pages. The page timings report is, I think, one of the most important reports that you can take a look at here, because, as I mentioned, ranking factor page speed is now a ranking factor. So we want to make sure that we're optimizing all these pages so that they rank well in Google, organic and SEO purposes. So what we look at here is you can see all these pages. It's currently organized by the number of page views over the past month, highest to lowest. But on the right hand side, you can see the average page loads time in seconds, and you can see it based on the average compared to the rest of the site. Now most of these look like they're in pretty good shape, except this number 7 here. Yikes, that one is in bad shape, and that blog post is taking a long time to load. Now there could be a number of reasons for that, but I can also see that other blog posts don't take nearly as long, so I can go in there and start to investigate what the problem might be. And my guess is maybe there's an image in there that hasn't been optimized. Maybe it's taking a long time to load, but I would go in there and take a look so I could optimize that blog post so that it's going to load much faster. Because what you can also find is people may bounce from your site very quickly if they can't get a page loaded in time. So definitely keep an eye on that, and make sure you're taking a look at how you can optimize the site, which takes me to my next report, and that's speed suggestions. This is just a gift of manna from heaven from Google. I really appreciate that Google has done this, because a lot of us are not necessarily really savvy webmasters who are running Google Analytics. And if you're not a savvy webmaster, you don't know a lot about how to do optimization, Google is doing a great job of helping you understand what you could be doing and really explaining how to fix your site to make it load better and faster. So in this report, we're looking at, again, based on highest page views to lowest for the past month, we can see these different pages on our site, and it will show us the average page load speed here in seconds. And then next to that, you'll see a link here, and this one says there's 7 total page speed suggestions for the home page, and then these other ones have 8 total, etc. Now the great thing about this is I can just pop this open. If I click on this, it opens a new pop-up window which opens Google's Pagespeed Insights tool, which you can, by the way, access outside of Google Analytics. So anyone can use this. You don't have to be in Google Analytics to be able to see it. All you have to do is, if you just Google Pagespeed Insights, you'll get there, and you can enter any URL and it will show you Google suggestions based on the desktop version and the mobile version. So you can see here we have a 71 of 100, which I will tell you, in having looked at a lot of these, probably about a score of 70 and above is a fairly common positive score. You would definitely want to be at least in the yellow, but you'd like to ideally be in the green on this. And so this tool gives us ways. Here's an example: eliminate render blocking JavaScript and CSS in the above the fold content. Show me how to fix that, Google. Well, here it tells me exactly what I could be doing on the site to optimize it further in this particular way. So even if you're not necessarily a savvy HTML programmer, you can read some of this and do some of the actions to really quickly, in some cases, improve the site speed. And in addition to giving you the desktop information, it also tells you on mobile what you could be fixing to improve mobile load time as well. So this is a really helpful tool. I highly recommend that you use it. And Google's done a great job of really helping you, walk you through step by step with resources too, to help you figure out how to improve your page load times. And last up is the user timings report. This report is helpful for measuring very specific things that are loading on your site. So for instance, maybe I want to know how long it takes a specific image to load, or I want to know how long it takes a video to load and play. I can do some extra tagging here on my elements on my page with JavaScript to figure that out. Now that's a bit more advanced, so we're not getting into that in this reporting class, but it is an option. If you have games on your site or you have big videos and so forth, this could really be helpful in really determining how long those individual elements are taking to load and so forth. So that's the user timing setting.